Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something you use pretty much every second of every day, but might not think twice about: software. It's the invisible architect of our modern world, and we're going to figure out how it all works.
So, let's start with a big question. What truly powers your world? I mean, really think about it. Let's just walk through a completely normal day.
Okay, so it all starts the second your alarm goes off. Every single time you tap, swipe, or pinch your screen, you're not just touching glass. You're giving a command to layers and layers of software that know exactly what to do with that touch.
Then you hop in your car. You're not just driving a machine anymore. You're basically piloting a computer on wheels. The engine, the brakes, the GPS, all of it is being managed by what's called embedded software. It's code that lives inside the hardware, built for one specific job.
And what about when you buy your morning coffee? That simple tap of your credit card kicks off a massive software event. It's a secure instruction that flies across the globe, gets verified, and completes a transaction, all in less than a second. Wild, right?
And finally, you get home and you just want to relax. That movie you stream, the game you play, the music you listen to, yep, it's all software, delivering exactly what you want right to your screen.
So the answer's pretty obvious, isn't it? It's software. This single, invisible force is running the show. Okay, so now that we see it everywhere, let's dive into the actual blueprint of this hidden world. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll define this invisible engine. Then, we'll get into the two main types of software. After that, we'll look at how it actually gets to you. We'll meet some of the unsung heroes of the software world. And finally, we'll talk about why any of this really matters to you.
All right, section 1. So what is this ghost in the machine? What are we actually talking about when we say the word software?
Simply put, software is just a set of instructions. That's it. Think about your computer or phone, the physical device, the chips and circuits. That's the hardware. You can think of it like a body. Well, software is the brain. It's the intelligence that tells the body what to do, turning a lifeless box of metal and plastic into something incredibly useful.
Okay, but here's a crucial point. Not all software is created equal. It's really built in two big, distinct layers. A great way to think about it is like a house. You've got the foundation, and then you have all the furniture inside. Understanding this difference is everything.
So let's stick with that house analogy. One type of software is the foundation, the plumbing, the electrical wiring, all the essential stuff that you never really see, but without it, the house is just a useless shell. That is system software. The other kind is the fun stuff: the couch, the TV, the paintings on the wall. It's what you actually interact with to live your life in the house, and that's application software.
So, system software is that deep, essential stuff. It's always running in the background, managing the computer's memory, its files, and all the physical hardware. The most famous example, of course, is the operating system, or OS. We're talking Windows, Mac OS, Android, Linux. It's the very first thing that boots up when you turn your device on.
And then you have application software, or as we all call them, apps. These are the programs that you choose to open to get something done. They literally sit on top of the system software. So your web browser, your spreadsheet program, your favorite game, those are all applications. They're designed for you, the user.
So here's the simplest way to remember it. System software runs the computer itself, while application software runs on the computer for you. They need each other to work. You just can't have one without the other.
So we know what software is, and we know the two main types. But how does this stuff actually get onto our devices? Well, there are basically 4 main ways it's distributed, and each one has really different rules.
Let's break down this table. It all really comes down to 2 big questions. Is it free, and can you see the code it's built with? First up is freeware, like Google Chrome. It's free to use, but the code is a secret. Then you've got open source software. It's also free, but, and this is a big but, its source code is public. Anyone can look at it, change it, and share it. Then there's shareware, which is basically try before you buy. And finally, you have proprietary software, like Microsoft Windows, which is a protected product that you pay a license to use.
Now, beyond those 2 big categories of system and application software, there's a whole bunch of other specialized tools out there working behind the scenes, kind of like a pit crew for your computer.
Let's meet these specialists. First, you've got utility software. This is your system's maintenance crew. Think antivirus programs or tools that clean up junk files. Then there's programming software. These are the tools for the builders, the code editors and compilers that developers use to create all the other software.
Middleware is like a universal translator. It helps different apps talk to each other, even if they weren't designed to. And we've already met embedded software. That's the specialist that lives inside one single device, like your car or your smart fridge, to give it its own intelligence.
So, after all that, why does any of this actually matter? I mean, who cares about the difference between open source and proprietary, or system and application software? Why should you care?
Because honestly, this knowledge is power. When you understand these concepts, you can make smarter choices. For example, choosing an open-source web browser might give you more transparency and control over your privacy than a proprietary one. Knowing that you can run utility software could speed up your old laptop and save you from having to buy a new one. It really shifts you from being just a passive user of technology to being an informed architect of your own digital world.
So there you have it. That's a quick look under the hood at the blueprint of our digital lives. Understanding these fundamentals is really the first step to owning your technology instead of it owning you. So the real question isn't just who the architects of our world should be, but how you can start being the architect of your own.